What up, traders, and welcome back with another weekly outlook. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the fundamentals and the technicals, connect them together, and see how the markets are going to benefit us this week. We've got a bunch of things we're going to go ahead and talk about. But the two main things out this week, of course, would be actually there's three of them coming out this week. Out for the Canadian data, out for the Canadians, out for the Bank of England, and of course we've got Australia's rate statement coming out this evening. Now, if you've seen this video after the fact, it's because you're not subscribed to this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you get the video as soon as I post it. Make sure you click on the bell button too to get the video as soon as I post it, because it'll send you a notification. Hey, listen here, a lot of things to discuss. Let's not wait any further. I'll see you right after this. Alrighty, traders, well, welcome back. And yes, it's been a while since I posted. In fact, about 2 weeks since I last posted. Took a little bit of a break, had to sort out some technical things. We're all ready to rock and roll, and we are motivated to start getting those videos posted every single part of this week. Make sure that you are subscribed, because we're going to send some good video content out this week, because the markets are moving. Well, at least they're going to move, right? We've had a bit of slowdown last week, and this week we're expecting some sort of action, especially at the beginning of the month. We got, of course, a lot of data coming out. The non-farm payrolls not taking place this week. It's going to take place. It took place last week, so we had that we were waiting for, and everything that came out. And now we're going to go ahead and see how the markets are reacting accordingly. And with that being said, I've got this little tool right here, so you might hear this click, click, click noise the whole time as I bang it on the screen. But it's going to be able to help me go through the details with you and cover what we need to be covered. Now, let's check out the charts. Here is the, or at least the calendar, right? Yeah, so here's the calendar. If you hear that bang, bang, sorry, my bad. If you take a look over here, the calendar, this is the data that we're talking about right here. This is the rate statement that's coming out for the Aussies this evening. The market's going to react accordingly. Now, what we're going to do is we're all going to go ahead and take a look at the technicals and see how the technicals are lined up with the fundamentals. Very, very important. Now, also we got the data coming out. I actually forgot to talk about this on Tuesday. We got the employment change as well as the unemployment rate. This is quarterly data for New Zealand, which is going to be important. We're going to check out that and see how that plays out. Then down here below, don't forget the Bank of England rate statement. Expecting to keep the rates unchanged at 0.75%. That's going to be a price move in. We're going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly what that means for us from a technical perspective. Also out this week, as I go further down to Friday, it's not going to be a quiet Friday. You can see right here, we've got some Canadian data coming out, employment change and unemployment rate. Now, what does that mean? Traders, well, when we get data coming out at the end of the week, like Thursday and Friday, what happens is the market tends to go ahead a little bit sideways, and it's waiting for the data, and then we'll start seeing the market break out when the data comes. Now, that means, traders, that we could have a slow rally, or at least a late rally in the week, or a late dip in the week based on the data, all right? Based on the fact that we're getting data coming out very late in the week. Now, does that mean that we're going to stand aside and not trade at all? No, we've got other pairs that we can focus on, right? And we're going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly what they are right here. So let's go ahead and take a look. So remember, traders, don't forget. Now, I'm not trying to take the fundamentals and really dig deep into it and try and figure out what the fundamentals are really telling me, all right? I'm not trying to get too technical on that. All I'm saying is we've got data coming out this week that's going to make the markets move or help the markets move, because the technicals lead the fundamentals to support what the technicals are telling us right here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the charts, and I'm going to dig in right here. Now, the first things I want to go ahead and cover, let's cover what's going on this evening. Aussie rate statements coming out this evening, and we're going to go ahead and take a look right here at the Aussie crosses. I'm going to go to Aussie CAD, and I'm looking at the daily time frame. At the moment right now, traders, I am what they call in the neutral zone. I'm in the neutral zone right here. Anytime I'm in the neutral zone, I stay out of the market. All right, traders could go ahead and look to scalp inside that area. I'm just going to simply say stand aside. If I'm in the neutral zone, I'm going to stand aside. You can see right here on my smart gauge, it's also telling me we're in the neutral zone. This could go either way. we're just going to stand aside right now. Now, I'm not saying, please, let's make sure that we understand. I'm not saying for those scalpers to stay out of the market. If you want to go ahead and scalp the market, because we did close out with a nice little bearish candle, all right, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and trade the market. If you decide to do that, that's up to you, all right? I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at another pair. So, Aussie CAD, I'm not interested in. Let's go ahead and take a look at Aussie Swiss franc. Aussie Swiss franc, listen here, traders. Anytime you see the market trading inside or these between these two channels right here, know that this is the neutral zone for me. All right, it means that I do not want to trade it. All right, I want to see a breakout either up or below, above or below, before I make a decision on that. So out of the market at the moment right now on the Aussie Swiss. Let's go to Aussie JPY. Aussie JPY is the same thing right here, but we do have the market that broke out right here, right? If I have to, maybe I have to zoom in a little bit closer up right here so you can see what's going on. Let me do that. So if you take a look over here, you'll see that price did snap up a little bit above that, which means that there's a very high probability that price is starting to look to wave north. Now, traders, as it comes back inside, which it has, we had a little indecision candle right here. As price comes back below and inside this channel again, between these channels right here, it starts saying neutral zone, maybe stand aside. Now, you can see right here on my smart gauge how the smart gauge is about 60% bullish at the moment right now, which means that there's a possibility for some upside move in the next couple of days. Now, I'm excited about this. I just want to get proper confirmation. Now, the fact of the matter is, traders, as soon as I see the market break above here, I'm already a buyer. So I'm probably looking to buy up here at the top, place my stop loss below that low of the daily, and let's see what happens. If the market breaks out, then great. If it doesn't, well, we'll have to wait and see. So in reality, this is actually a buy position. We're already long on Aussie JPY. So go ahead and write it down. I'm bullish on Aussie JPY. All right, bullish. Now, stop losses would be below this level right here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull out a number. And the number that I'm looking for would probably be, let's pull it out right here, would be that low there. And that is going to be at, let's see if I can draw that closer up. There it is there. Oh, no, my bad. Oh, where am I? There it is. It's actually, I've got it already marked off there. Good. There it is there, 73.77. So yes, we are in the buy. We're active buy. We're going to stop at around about 73.77. Now, does that mean that we're not going to continue to add on to the position? Not at all. If you're not in on the trade and you're looking for a good buying opportunity, then look at the 1 hour chart right here. The 1 hour chart, and I'm a big believer in market swings, right? And so, yeah, we have multiple swings right here as you can see the price moving back up higher. And now we'll see a deeper correction move. So very shallow retracement moves here, but now the market's moved down a little bit further. I'm going to go ahead and trade it back going long. So if the market does break to the upside, I may just be a buyer back in on this trade. Now, for those traders that do not have all these fancy indicators that I have here based off Smart Trader platform, and you're simply looking at the market on a different platform, then what you may want to do is you may want to go ahead and look for a nice counter trend line break when the market breaks the counter trend line, because it's pretty much at the same level that I would go ahead and look to rebuy back into the market. Look for a nice counter trend line break. The market breaks above, place stop loss below the last U-turn, and start looking to trade it back up north. All right, that's what we're going to go ahead and do on this pair if I was to add on. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. All right. We've got a bunch of traders that are using different indicators to be able to trade the market. And if you are one of those traders and you're using different indicators to get in long or short on the market, then what you want to do is you want to set up your EA or your script or whatever it is to only look for buying opportunities on Aussie JPY. That's what I would be doing. Right there, all right. I'll be only looking to buy on Aussie JPY. Let's go take a look at another pair. This is Aussie New Zealand dollar. Aussie New Zealand dollar, we're back in a buy on this as well. And if I go ahead and see, yep, we are in a buy. We do have an active buy, and we look for price to continue up. In fact, look at all these indecisions right here. All the indecisions that happened over the last few days. There it is there. This is great right here to say, traders, let's go ahead and buy. Now, I understand that price may be finding a little bit of resistance off that downward, or that trend line going across right here. I'm just going to make a little bit of adjustment right here so we can get exactly the exact level of where we're anticipating this price to move to. Let me go ahead and use another tool here. And so we're looking at this right here to be a little more slanted, right? Go delete that one. And let's see here. Yeah, let's take this one out the way here. And what I'm going to do is, there we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see this resistance up a little bit higher. So we've got room at the moment right now to still look for some buys, because if you look at where price is trading at right now to where price may find resistance, that's still 130 pips to the upside. So we've got at least about 100 pips, or a little bit more than that, before price hits a bit of resistance right there. So I'm going to hold on to this trade. I'm going to be bullish on Aussie New Zealand dollar, and I'm going to look to trade it all the way up to this level right here, at that level there, and then that'll give us about 130 pips to the upside. So, and you can see we're in a very strong situation now. Very strong doesn't always mean that it's good to just jump into the market on a buy. It means that you're going to be a little bit more cautious about what you're doing, because we could be heading to a very strong level of resistance or support, but in this case now resistance. So we've got to make sure that we are getting it at a good price, that there's not a resistance level at the price we're buying in at, and that we still got room for the market to move up a little higher. In this case, we do. So Aussie New Zealand dollar, very excited about this one right here. So going to the next move is the Aussie US dollar. Now this Aussie US dollar right here, let me go ahead and take a look and see what's going on right here. And I'm going to clean up a few things here. And let's do this. All right, take this out the way. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is take a look at details like, let's zoom in a little closer up right here. Okay, there it is. So if I look over here on this particular pair, just the same as we had with the other pair, we did see a break here above. So price is saying to us, yes, we're in the buy zone. If I look at the technicals right here, this is my only concern that I have right here. That price has given us a wave 1, oh, my bad, sorry, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 up here, wave 4 up here, and now we're heading into wave 5. So what I'd like to look at right here is how far has wave 5 moved, and is there still room up here at the top? Well, traders, we also got a pattern, right? We've got a bearish pattern that's appeared right here as well, which could also mean that price wants to go ahead and retrace back down. So let's go take a look at the pattern right here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit right here. And I'm going to take a look at this right here. Let's just move this down. So there's the pattern. It looks like we've got a butterfly pattern setting up right here, a bearish butterfly pattern. And I'm going to go ahead and also take a look at I'm going to go put some fibs on here and actually put some waves over here down below. And there it is. It has confirmed that the fifth wave is being hit right there. And so I'm looking for price to move down. So this is the only Aussie cross that I've actually come across right now that's indicating that maybe price wants to move further down south. So which means, traders, if I look at this right here and the fact that we've come back and traded back inside, all right, the fact that we come back inside my channel, or these two channels right here, indicates maybe price wants to move further down south before moving back up again. So this would be a stand aside right here on Aussie US dollar. All right, stand aside on Aussie US dollar. I would say that if anything, if you want to trade that pattern that I just showed you right there, that's the pattern right there, the butterfly pattern. If you want to trade the butterfly pattern to go back to support, Also, because we've closed out with a nice bearish candlestick formation right here, yes, we could go ahead and retest that level. And that level is giving us about, let's take a look right here. We're looking at about 50, well, it's not a whole bunch. You could probably be scalping the market down there. It's 52 pips. I don't think it's even worth me even spending any time on this. I certainly won't do that, because if I look at the way the market's placed, we would have to place a stop loss. We're looking at probably about 60 pip stop loss as well on this. So it's a 60 pip stop for a 60 pip gain virtually. It's not a type of trade that I'll be looking at as a swing setup, especially not based off a daily time frame. So with that being said, traders, we're going to stay away from this particular pair, and I'm going to move on to another pair. Now let's go take a look at Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is one of my hot pairs, because remember, traders, we've been talking about the prediction, right? If you've forgotten or you don't know what I'm referring to, I will make sure that there's a video link to this right after this video, right? So after this video, I'll make sure that you get access to that video. And so make sure that you stick around towards the end of this video, because I will be posting a video on this prediction right here. This is the Euro Aussie prediction. We predicted 2,700 pips on this trade. Now this is going to come, maybe take us all the way into 2020, but we're waiting for a great opportunity. I'm already thinking sell, 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 but I've got to be a little bit more patient on this, because I know there's going to be a little rally and then a dip to the downside. Now, we'll be looking at the lower time frames. Okay, here is the 1 hour. Oh, sorry, my bad, the daily. This is the daily right here. And as I compress the daily up right here, we are starting to break through the channels. There you can see right here. Price starting to move itself back inside right here. At least it's trying to move itself back inside right here. But we did break out below there, so which means that traders, there is a bit of bearish sentiment taking place now on Euro Aussie dollar. Now, what I would probably be doing on Euro Aussie dollar is looking for an opportunity to continue to sell it. There may be some other pairs out there. It may not be one of my top pairs for the week to start looking to sell, but it's certainly something that I'm really interested in. And I'll tell you why. Because if you go ahead and take a look at the way the market's moved right here, here you have wave 1, 2, 3, and notice how price comes back up here and retests old support become resistance right over here. And so therefore it is welcoming to see that price, if it breaks through that support right here, if price breaks through, we could see it continue to move further down south on its way to that 2,700 pip opportunity. So this is big. I'm telling you right now, keep your eye on the Euro Aussie opportunity. Is going to come, and it's going to come soon, that you can go ahead and grab some good pips out of that. Now, also what is also cool about this as well, traders, if you know anything about patterns, you can see that there's a nice, I'm going to call it head and shoulders patterns, because I don't believe we took out the low right here. So we have a nice head and shoulders pattern right here. This is the left tip. This will be the right tip right here. So which means that the neckline is this going across right here. So we have not broken through the neckline. And if you know anything about trading head and shoulder pattern, we need to have the market breaking below the neckline in order to get in on this, and then we can go ahead and place our stop losses up above the right tip of the head and shoulder pattern. So that's where we are right now. So definitely watch out for this pair, and as soon as it starts breaking, traders need to start taking advantage of that. Now, I have not even included this in one of my top picks for the week. But this is something I definitely will be focusing in on this month. So that is the Euro Aussie. Let's go to another Aussie cross, and this is going to be the pound Aussie right here. And by the way, if the Euro Aussie does go south, what does that mean with the Aussie? That means strength out of the Aussie. So hey, I'm not saying let's keep the Aussie, the Euro Aussie off the table for this week, because we do have the statement out this evening. And if the statement comes out positive for the Aussie, guess what? Euro Aussie will then push south, because Aussie is getting stronger. Now, I've seen all across the board, most of the Aussie crosses that I've seen so far has indicated that the market wants to get, the Aussie wants to get stronger. Now, if it does happen, then that does line up to what we could see on the Euro Aussie. Let's take a look at the pound Aussie right here. Pound Aussie says the same thing. All right, if price is going to go stronger, if we're going to start seeing price go stronger, then clearly Aussie's getting weak. But if pound Aussie moves south, then that could indicate that we are looking at a stronger Aussie dollar and a weak, or at least the pound wouldn't really matter because we're getting strong Aussie, right? So if that's the case, then yeah, we could see this market dipping down south. Now, if I look at the technicals right here, we can see that we do have a good solid buy right here. Now, if I have a good solid buy, that means that the 1 hour is not in line with the daily. So that means we had price showing wave 1, good wave 3 up here at the top. This is a wave 4. We could be heading south a little bit, maybe getting a bit of strong pound, and maybe even with good strong data out for the Aussies, it's not going to push the pound Aussie bearish that strong because of the fact we're getting stronger pound. So we might have a battle between pound and Aussie this week, specifically because we also got Bank of England coming out on Thursday, keeping the rates unchanged at 0.75%. Is that a good or a bad thing? We'll have to take a look at what happens on Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look over here. And what I want to go ahead and do is just zoom in a little bit closer up here. Let's just take a look and see what's going on here. All right. This pair is being really range bound a little bit. Yeah, all right. So I've just compressed it up a little bit more just to get some more data over here. And if I look over here on this, I can see that there's certainly a trend line going up here. We have a lot of resistance coming up here at the top. There's certainly a room for the market to want to break through. Well, look, there's a bit of consolidation there. Man, I don't know. I see this as maybe consolidated, Aussie pound consolidated. If that's the case, then this resistance here is holding, and we should see pound Aussie working its way back down south, which does mean that very possible that the news out this Thursday for the pound, them keeping the rates unchanged at 0.75% is not a good thing for the pound. And that if we do start seeing a trend starting this evening with the Aussie rate statement, then this trend could continue as we go through Thursday in the rate statement as well. The rate decision for the Bank of England. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and say that pound Aussie is going to move bearish because we're at the top of the range. Now, this is where traders, you have to be smart about what's going on right here. Sure, we're in the buy zone. Sure, everything shows that we should be bullish, but we also notified the market has, or at least notice that the market has resistance and support down here, and that there's a higher probability of price moving lower down because of the fact that we're at resistance. Now, if we break through right here, we could go ahead and take this right to the upside. But if it doesn't, it's possible that we should stick around for a nice bearish move to the downside. And that bearish move, traders, could be, man, that could be all the way down here to around about 174, let's call it 173. So 1.73 could be the level the market's looking for. And where are we trading at the moment right now? Are you kidding me? We're trading at 187 at the moment right now. So 187, we're looking for a big 1300 pip move to the downside right here on the pound Aussie dollar. Wow, that's interesting. Well, traders, I'll tell you this much though. I'm a trader that believes that I'm going to follow the rules, and my rules state this. All right, the rules state this: that if I do see any sort of hint of bullish sentiment here on the pound, I'm going to be on the pound Aussie. I'm going to be buying in long, keep my stops a little tight, keep it right about here, but then trade this going long. Now, if I have other setups that are far better looking than this, then I definitely would go ahead and rather pay attention to that and not go ahead and risk on something that is a little iffy at the moment right now. So you make the decision. That's where we are on those pairs. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we've got going here. Now, the data that's coming out this week as well, we spoke about the Aussie data. We're also getting New Zealand data coming out this week, and we're getting pound data. Let's go take a look at some New Zealand crosses and see how that's shaping up this week. New Zealand CAD, not a buyer at the moment right now, and not a seller. All right, I'm waiting for price to confirm, or at least price action to confirm a trigger. I'm not seeing it yet. Remember, traders, remember what I said? If you see me looking at the chart right here, and I'm trading inside those, between those two channels, it's a no-go for me. All right, it's a no-go for me. I want to see proper confirmation, and so I'm off to the golf course on this pair right here. Certainly, I'm going to go ahead and get involved. And let's go ahead and take a look at what else we got here. New Zealand Swiss. New Zealand Swiss also inside the channels, or at least between the channels, stand aside. Let's go to New Zealand JPY just the same way inside the channels. Now, what does this mean? It means it's in a no trade zone, right? We're not going to trade it. But does that mean that we're not going to pay attention to the markets at all on the New Zealand crosses? No, not at all. All right. This means that we could possibly see opportunity on this later on in the week, right? When we start seeing some breakout. So this may be off the table for right now, but it doesn't mean that we're going to stay off the table if it continues to break, or at least if it does break through these two channels. So this is definitely off the table right now, but maybe an opportunity later in the week. Let's go take a look at New Zealand US dollar. Same thing in between the channels. Let's stand aside on this. Don't want to go in and pay attention. So based on the news coming out, and maybe traded, just maybe this news that's coming out on the Tuesday, right, is going to be the movers for us, and this could be a late mover, right? And that's what we want to pay attention to, right? If we see these type of setups developing, where we have price that's in the neutral zone or these sideways, and we're waiting for a nice little breakout to take on a trade, this is the news that's going to make things happen for us. All right. So Tuesday could be a nice little move for us. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, heading into the weekend, we're going to have some great opportunities to go ahead and trade the New Zealand crosses. And again, what are we looking at? We're looking at employment change. Unemployment rate, sorry, is at they're looking at 4.1%. That's a little bit of an upbeat since the data was released at 3.9% last month. We also got quarterly unemployment change also coming out. That also looks like it's gone ahead and they're predicting it to drop to 0.2% from 0.8%. So that's definitely going to be a price mover. You know, especially if the forecast is outside what they had last month, but also more importantly, what is actually the number that comes out. That's going to be interesting to take a look at as well. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else we've got going. Now, we've looked at the Aussie crosses, we've looked at the New Zealand crosses. Lastly, let's take a look at those pound crosses. We looked at a few pound crosses already, but let's go ahead and continue and take a look and see what's going on here. Let's start off with the pound Canadian, because we've looked at the pound Aussie already. And there it is again. You know, at the moment right now, we're looking at the same sort of setup as we saw with the pound Aussie. You know, it's in the buy zone right here. But as I look at the market's trend right here, I'm predicting a possible correction. We've got resistance up at the top here. Maybe price wants to come back down and then go ahead and rally up. So we may see a dip before the rally. You know what a good thing is to do is between traders, when you're really unsure about what to do on the larger time frame, the best thing that you can do is just go ahead and take a look at the higher time frame of the time frame that you were looking at. So I was looking at the daily. Now I've gone ahead and pulled up the weekly. And if I look at the weekly right here, I'll notice a couple of things. I'll notice that, yes, we've got strong support over here. And then we've got a bit of resistance coming up here at the top. All right, it's a little bit broken through right here, a little bit broken through, but then we've got resistance there as well. So we've got resistance, resistance, resistance. We've got support, support, support over here. And price has just come off support, which means traders that were looking for price to move back up towards resistance. Now, what could stop that price from moving up? Another support level. Now we've traded through that. So price could come back and retest that and then continue to move back up. It's just like a little ladder, right? You just climb the ladder. Now, what else could go ahead and stop the market from getting to that level? Well, we could have another level of support right here. But that could be just a temporary stall. Now you can see that we're trading in between, which means that we should see price continue to work its way back up, because we've already traded through this level right here of resistance, and now it's becoming support for the market. So yes, we are expecting price to continue to move back up, especially on the pound Canadian. Now that is pound Canadian bullish. Let's go take a look at JPY. Now I'm trying to get the consensus across the board, understand exactly what the pairs are doing across the board right here, and this is why I'm looking at the pound JPY as well. Pound JPY very strong bullish over here. In fact, we've got a nice little pattern on the daily. This is cool. All right, we've got a nice little wedge there, bullish flag, and we're expecting price to break out to the upside. If we do, we should see it rallying back up north. So we should be bullish on pound. In fact, pound JPY, I'm very excited about pound JPY. To continue its rally up north. We are very strong bullish, all right, which means that, yes, we've got to watch out for resistance because we may end up hitting resistance. So if I go ahead and bring in my waves on this, then I can take a look down here below, and I can see that I had a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and, well, we've certainly gone ahead and hit wave 5. There's no doubt about that. So let me go ahead and clean up house here. And I'm going to go ahead and add this again. And I'm going to start off down here. And let's do this. Let's bring that across. And I want to start down here below. Okay, so there's my fifth wave right there. So, with the fifth wave in play, they're looking at price to move down a little further down south. So we could get price coming up here, then here, and then working its way back down south. So this is the only thing that concerns me about the pound JPY. I like the way it's set up specifically for pattern breakouts, right? So for pattern breakout, it's great. But when I look at the wave structure on this, the wave structure tells me that we may be expecting price to work its way back down first before it goes up and then goes down again. So I don't think I'm going to be a very big fan of pound JPY. Even though we've got that pattern over there, we could scalp this pattern to the upside and trade that. But mostly I would probably want to go ahead and stand aside on this if I'm going to do any sort of swing trading on this. So my decision on this to stand aside and see what happens with this breakout right here. And I'll probably have to wait until Thursday, get Thursday's news out, and then go ahead and see which way the market breaks out and start trading there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one's pound Swiss. Pound Swiss, the same thing. It's got that same sort of pattern. And that's what bothers me about the pair right here is if I look at this from a wave perspective right now, this is telling me that price wants to go ahead and work its way back into an ABC. So not excited about this. What I would want to wait for is for price to come back down here, find a bit of support, and then work its way back up. Then I'll be more inclined to want to go ahead and buy this. Right now, pound Swiss franc is not telling me to do anything right now. Let's take a look at pound New Zealand dollar. And I'm getting the same sort of look on this. Also seeing the a very strong buy on the smart gauge right here. And yep, probably going to look for a dip and then a rally. Traders, looking at all of this now, I'm just going through the pairs as we address them right here, and I'm thinking right now that the smart thing to do on the pound crosses this week, all right, the smart thing to do on the pound cross this week is stand aside. Okay, I am going to say that, and again, this is just my opinion, and you can take it however you want it. I'm thinking that the pound crosses this week may have a late rally, which means by Thursday, Friday, we may be in a position to look to buying the pound crosses. Until then, I think it's going to be stand aside. And if it is choppy and sideways up until Thursday, then the breakout that we're seeing right here, all these little patterns that we're seeing, right, and these flags and the wedges and so on, all of that, okay, in fact, more wedges than flags, but all of these patterns right here may end up seeing a breakout, and it may even be choppy, but we may see a breakout either way, right? But what I'm going to go ahead and do is rather stand aside until Thursday. I don't want to get caught up in the pound crosses this week unless I'm doing some scalping between the resistance and support with a very much lower time frame. But other than that, stand aside and look for opportunity later in the week, and then maybe Thursday, Friday, trading opportunity on pounds. So make sure you make a note of that. Pound crosses, I think, is going to give us great opportunities, but later on in the week. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen. All right. So that pretty much covers the Aussies, the New Zealands, and the pound crosses for this week. I'm sure there's great other opportunities that are presenting themselves towards the mid part of this week. We may go ahead and send out another update on the markets. In the trading room, I'll be discussing exactly what we'll be doing and how we'll be trading these pairs, and figuring out exactly what the market's going to be doing for the rest of the week. But we've got those that I would think is probably the best pairs that I can see based on news and technicals that we should be paying attention to this week. All right, traders. Well, that's a lot of the information. Hopefully, you guys digest that and do whatever you need to do with that information. But it's going to be a good week either way, because if it doesn't happen before Thursday, certainly Thursday and Friday is going to be an interesting time, specifically with the pound crosses. All right, traders. Well, that's it from me. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. Comment in the box. Tell me if you like the videos. Right there. Awesome. Great. Don't like it. Whatever you want to go ahead and do. Post over there in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you back again in the next video update. This is FX Big Dog signing off.